have not yet completed maybe 1 year. So Baba is telling that there is a golden chance of moving fast by taking the high jump, and that is of coming first, and they should constantly keep this in their awareness. Their status, as Baba said, the master of the world and the master of the Brahman. The world is remembering them with the sun of knowledge. The world is saluting them. They are the lucky stars. They should also consider them that they are the light who are dispelling the darkness. This thing is for them. This line is not for only for the old. And for that, Baba also said in the beginning that Baba today is remembering those children who constantly think of a meeting and who are constantly absorbed in this love. So it is nothing to take with the old or new. This is the quality of the children to whom Baba also remembers them in return. Bab Dada is happy to see the zeal, enthusiasm, and courage of the new children, and is also giving them special love and cooperation. Those children who are putting this effort, who are remembering Baba, is celebration for them, who are absorbed in love. Baba is happy to see the zeal and enthusiasm and courage of those new children, and Baba is giving special love and cooperation with them, Baba saying. Now, this year, it is the Murli of 22nd of Jan 1976. Now, this year, have the determined thought to fulfill the many desires and wishes of the soul of the world. To fulfill the desires of others means to make the self ignorant of any knowledge of desire. Ichcha matram avidya. To fulfill the desire of others means to make the self ignorant of any knowledge of desire. Just as to give is to receive, in the same way, to fulfill the desires of others is to make the self complete. Very, very important point, very, very important line, that just as to give is to receive, in the same way to fulfill the desire of others to make the self complete. Baba is giving us this seva for this year because this Murli is relevant on current day, on today's date also. And the work that Baba, the seva that Baba is giving us children is, we have to have the determined thought now to fulfill the many desires and wishes of the souls of the world. And for that, the prerequisite is being self-ignorant of any knowledge of desire. And when we are working to give, that is to receive. To fulfill the desire of others is to make the self complete. The fast effort for the present last period is to perform a double task simultaneously. First, Baba talked about what should be our state of mind, how important is to be immersed in Baba's love, how much it is important to have this enthusiasm and courage in your heart. And now Baba is telling how to do the seva, because there are 4 subjects. No? Baba is telling the fast effort for the present last period is to perform a double task simultaneously. What is that? To give to others is to fill the lack within the self. To give to others is to fill the lack within the self. That is, to create others is to become. To create others is to become. On the path of devotion, people donate whatever they lack. And by donating that thing, they never lack it again. If I want to be loved, I should be the embodiment of love. If I want just simple the good behavior in reciprocation from others, I should be the embodiment of modesty, humility. So giving becomes receiving. In the same way, in whichever subject you feel yourself to be lacking, whatever speciality or virtue you feel you lack in yourself, donate that particular special or virtue. That is, use that in serving other souls. And you will then experience that within yourself as the practical fruit of service. This is the theory. To serve means to receive the fruit. To serve means to receive the fruit. Now, there is not that much time to make effort in which you can first give time to your own self and make time to serve others. Fast effort means to serve the self and others at the same time. At every second and in every thought, there should be benevolent feeling for the self and for the world. In the same second, you should be performing the double task. Every second and in every thought, there should be benevolent feeling for the self and for the world. And in the same second, you should be performing the double task. And only then you will become one with a double crown. If you only perform one task at a time, then as a result of serving either the self or the world individually, you will receive a single crown of light in the world, in the new world. That is, although you will attain a life of purity, a life filled with happiness and prosperity, you will not attain the throne and crown of a kingdom. That is, you will be rewarded with the status of a subject. So Baba says that to become double crowned, to attain the throne and crown of a kingdom, all we have to do is that we have to serve every second in every thought, having the benevolent feelings for the self and for the world. This double task we now need to perform in order to become double crowned. The basis of attaining a double crown is to perform double service at the same time, to serve the self and others at the same time. This is the effort of coming last and going fast. Are you making such fast effort? You must have this particular checking at the present time. You will be able to change yourself and the time through this method. Acha. To such children in whom there is hope, who transform themselves and the world, to those who constantly maintain good wishes for world's benefit, the same as Bap Dada, to the fast effort makers who fulfill all desires of all souls, to the world servers and world benefactors who use their time and thoughts for service, to such most elevated souls, Bapdada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Now, the second Murli. On the same date, the subject is now the main basis of transformation is to remain busy in service at every second. What special chit chat takes place in the heart to heart exchange of the Maharathis? Generally, the subject that comes up with the Maharathis is, according to the time, how will transformation take place? While looking at the time and the self, there is a question of what will happen. However, the main basis of transformation is to remain busy in service at every second. In the previous Murli, Baba says we have to be busy every second. We have to do the double task. Benevolent feelings for the self, that is the most important, and having the same feeling for the world. Now Baba is telling the main basis of transformation is to remain busy in service at every second. Every Maharathi should constantly have that thought. Whatever time I have, that has to be for service. Even when you are using time for an essential task for your body, you can use your mind to bring about world benefit. At the same time, while doing that, if you are not able to do something with words or deeds, you should have the thought in your mind of having benevolent feelings, mansa seva, to be precise. That is also then accumulated in the subject of service. Baba saying even when we are busy doing some essential task for our body or our mind, but that time also maybe you are working in your office or at your workplace, but there is a beautiful discipline which Baba has created for all the children for all over the world, and that is traffic control. Even you can withdraw your mind from your surroundings, go deep, and can do the seva for the world as Baba is asking to do. Just we can do the service through our mind, having benevolent feelings, and Baba says that too gets accumulated in the subject of service. On the path of devotion, who does one call a great donor? Baba is asking. On the path of donation, who does one call a great donor? Great donors are those who do not use anything for themselves. but who use everything at every moment to serve others. In the previous Murli, Baba says, now we have to fulfill the desire of all the souls from the world. And for that, the prerequisite is Icha Matram Avidya, being self ignorant of any desire. And giving is receiving. This is how we can have the feeling of self complete, Sampurnata. Here Baba saying great donors are those who do not use anything for themselves but who use everything at every moment to serve others. Otherwise, they're just donors. Those who constantly and continually donate are called great donors. Constantly, sada, continually, nirantar. In the same way, while giving time to yourself personally, always consider yourself to be engaged in world service. You see, even you are doing a very important work, you are working at your workplace, but Baba has completely changed the purpose of our work. Everything we are doing for the higher purpose. We don't work under people, we work under God. So the whole purpose has been changed, and in everything there is a seva bhav, means we are serving. That is how that is how we can achieve this, what Baba is saying in this line, that while giving time to yourself personally, always consider yourself to be engaged in world service. Whenever you are sitting on a stage, you have to pay special attention because you are on the stage of for service at that time. Even we are performing on the stage, we have to have the special attention because we are on the stage of service at that time. You therefore don't become slack. You pay full attention to service. In the same way, constantly consider yourself to be on the stage of service, and transformation will take place through this. You pay full attention to service. In the same way, constantly consider yourself to be on the stage of service, and transformation will take place through this. How to keep this in our awareness, Baba is trying to teach us. Whenever you recognize any weakness in yourself, constantly remain engaged in this task of service, and as a result of that service, you will have the attainment of blessings from the hearts of all souls, and will be praised, and will also be praised. On the basis of this attainment, you will experience happiness, and by your remaining busier on the basis of happiness, whatever weakness you experience within yourself will finish. This is the theory number 2. If there is any weakness inside me, I have recognized it first, and then if I would constantly engage myself in the task of service, not necessarily you have to go to the uh, center and do some service. Baba already said that you can do any service. You have to give a donor. When we donate and when we do the service, the byproduct of it is to be experiencing joy, happiness, to experience joy and remaining busier on the basis of happiness. Baba says that we get a lot of blessing when we are doing service. and the weakness of experience within ourselves will be finished. So this is the way to transform yourself, in which you have to draw one another's attention and put into a practical form to stabilize yourself on the pilgrimage of remembrance at the present time, according to the stage of being a world benefactor, is also accumulated in the subject of service. This is because the time of Maharati spent now on the pilgrimage of remembrance is not just for the self, because that time spent on pilgrimage of remembrance is for the self as well as for the benefit and service of others. See, Baba is giving us double task, because in order to become double crowned, we have to perform the double task. Baba wants us to be a constant and continuous donor. You have already received a lot of time experience to experience for yourself, but it is now time for the stage of being great donor and bestower of blessings. What is the definition of Maharathis? A Maharathi is one who has a double crown, that is, one who is double server. There should be the balance of serving others as well as serving the self. At the beginning also Baba said that you create a benevolent thought for yourself and a benevolent thought for others. Such a soul is called a Maharathi. The time of the children's childhood is for the self, and the time of responsible souls is for service. The time of the infantry and the cavalry will be used for the self-allot, Pyade and Ghorsawari. Sometimes their stage will get spoiled. Sometimes they will have dharna, whereas at other times they will fail in their dharna. Sometimes they will make intense effort, at other times they will make ordinary effort. One moment they would be battling with one sanskar, and the next moment they would be battling with another. They will waste a lot of time on themselves. However, Maharathis would not be like this. Little children play with toys. They put everything right very quickly, or they spoil something very quickly. Here, too, they play with the toy of their sanskars, sometimes putting everything right and sometimes spoiling. Sometimes they put everything right, sometimes they're influenced, and sometimes they influence it. However, this is sign of childhood, not a Maharathi. So Baba saying a Maharathi is one who has a double crown, that is one who is a double server, who is not utilizing this time only for serving the self, but for serving the souls of the world. They are the great donors. At the same time, in every moment, they are doing the double task. Acha. So these were the two Murlis dated on 22nd of January 1976. We can take a pause for a minute. I will take you through the two Murlis. You can just quickly revise. You can take away points. And after that, we can start journey. Thank you. Okay, so whoever is ready can unmute himself and share the point.
Wow, what a scene. I and my father standing on the stage. I hear the sounds, the curtain opens. My father salutes me. And also, I can see the whole world saluting me and my father. It's such a beautiful vision as living Chatriks.
Thank you, Girijaban. Yeah, yeah, Bijit.
Om Shanti. So the first Murli, there Baba says, the fast effort makers, the symptoms for the present and the last period is to perform double tasks at the same time simultaneously for the self as well as for others. So there should be a balance for both for the self and also for others. So Baba says that that's a sign of being a Maharati. And also, Baba says, being a fast effort maker. And so this is the time to do that. Um, so this is the checking point that I have, whether I'm a Maharati or am I double, am I worthy to wear double crown or single crown? Because it's all based on the kind of seva that I do. Am I doing double seva at the same time, self and for others? Baba says there is no time now to do seva alone for the self, and then at other times we do seva for others. No, it has to happen simultaneously. Okay, Om Shanti, thank you.
Thank you, Bijit.
Just to add for the first Murli sister, the heart of the Murli is giving is receiving. Dena hi lena hai. And for this, I just remember two laws, the law of nature. The tree never eats their own fruits, river never drinks its own water. Whether the sun or the rain, they give equal to everyone. They don't give some more and some less. When we have to learn from nature, we are the one who has been given by God everything. So he says, give without even thinking of returning. That inward generosity only when I have, then giving God is, I have to think I have abundant. So that is receiving. I should not wait. Acha, what can I do? The law of expectation doesn't work. That's also a beautiful part of the Murli, giving, giving, giving. That he relates even in the second Murli. I loved the way Baba gave a new light for weaknesses. What does he say? If suppose you have a weakness, forget it, you keep serving. Then उनकी दुआओं से आपका जो weaknesses है, it will finish. Never think what's missing in your life. Always think, how can I serve? Automatically, the missing part will be filled.
Very true. Very, very beautiful point. That we are doing the double task at the same time, we are also breaking those lacks, the weaknesses. Baba makes things so simplified. Baba gives us as a formula theory. Anyone else?
Om Shanti, sister. I like the point. Do you elevated souls experience being invoked every day? And this is because even the Father salutes such elevated souls who are the masters of the world and the masters of Brahman. And then there is a memorial of, and even, the souls of the world during the, from the Dwapar, they took up the discipline of offering salutations every day. So, do you experience yourself to be worthy of those salutations? That's a that's something which we all can check every day, that do we, you know, are we in this state of the stage? That stage is where we are experiencing being invoked every day. Means our vibrations are our vibrations reaching those souls every day to also connect them with the Supreme Father. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother.
This Murli status, first, January 22, right, and 76. And at that time, Baba says children who have come at the end have a golden chance of moving fast, by taking a high jump. And then they can come first. So now, if you look at it, it's been way, way back. So, so still, what is some of you might be thinking? Still, there is a margin for those who have come late to go fast by being the double server.
Yes, brother. Yeah, Jitin. Yeah, Jitin. Yeah, Dr. Jitna.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
My takeaway from this, Murali. Give to others is to fulfill the lack within the self. That is, donate the specialty or virtue that lack within us.
Thank you, Doctor.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. I like this point that Baba said that to fulfill the desires of others is to make the self complete. I mean, to be in that Iksha Matrama Vidya Vala, that stage where the self is ignorant of the knowledge of desire. But that will happen only when there's no desire at all for the self, and that will happen when the self is complete, sampan and sampurna. I think the past effort for the present last period is to perform the double task simultaneously. Is keep filling the self with the fullness that from the Father, and at the same time keep giving. Whatever we are giving is also increasing multi-million folds. I think that's a very good point. I which touched me. Om Shanti.
Yes.
Sister, I just had a query. Like in the same Murli, Baba is saying, your body may be busy in doing essential tasks, but your mind is free. Use your mind for world benefit. So I remember I'm not clear with the words that Dil Har De Haat Kar De something when Mama used to say. But that she said, connect yourself to the Lord when you're doing your work. But here Baba, when he says, could you just give us an example, like when so clear, body is doing essential. So my body does so many essential tasks throughout the day. He says, your mind is free. Use it for world benefit. Could you give some examples, please? Some churning?
Anyone else would like to answer?
I think I'll just try. This is the best way to look at this is couples are probably those who are engaged. So when just imagine when they are engaged, right? So they have only thinking about with whom they are engaged. No matter whatever task basically that they're doing at home or at workplace. So as in when they get time or their mind is kind of free from the busyness, the first thing they might do would either take the phone or start remembering or some of the incident that they had in the past, which they try to recollect, and then with that they kind of enjoy, I guess, or kind of bliss that they experience. So here, the same thing, the same the method that I think we should use in this spirituality also with Baba, who is being our eternal bride, and we being his Sitas. So having I think that's something that we need to work upon and then build with it, with that sort of a relationship with Baba. Otherwise, it's very difficult to come within us in the form of thoughts, especially when we are, sitting idle. Or I think it has to happen automatically. For it to happen automatically, then we need to have that thought firmly within us, inside. Just like how naturally it is happening for others, for the couples, those who are engaged. But if you look at it, though we have so much of love for Baba, but still it's not taking place. Probably some of them it is taking place, but uh, uh, still I sometimes find it difficult. So I'm just expressing my side. So there, our mind is completely free. Especially when the mind is free, then it automatically goes there. So that kind of a attitude, I think we need to build here. My perspective. Someone else can share.
Thank you, brother. Also, just to add on that, we can practice Swaman. When we practice Swaman, Baba has given us so many Swaman. I'm the world benefactor, if I take from, I'm the double-crowned king. I'm the bestower of blessings, anything. So when you are creating the blessing, the line, the beautiful line, sometimes you create your own line, there is a game that has been played many a times in Brahma Kumaris workshop. You will be going through, there will be people who are standing in two lines and you will be going through them, and each of them, and your eyes will be closed and each of them will see something beautiful in your ear. You will not be able to see who is giving you that blessing, and they can say anything about you, anything beautiful about you. So this is a kind of Swaman you are practicing. So somebody is telling that you are beautiful, you are awesome, you are very kind, you are empathetic, you are generous. So when you will see that when you get something like that, You feel so good. You feel so good. So create that line for yourself first and for the world. Because being in the benevolence feeling is very, very important. It happens that sometimes our emotional or mental state goes down for something or some reason. But as Baba says, what we have received so far from him, what the beautiful things I have done in my life, the moments I helped others, the moments I did something extraordinary, I should have that list ready with myself. This is also a kind of, practicing self-love and gratitude. These two things will always help you to have a benevolence feeling, and then creating a blessing for others will not be a difficult thing. It won't require any more effort. Okay, so now we will practice that, and with the interest of time, we will do a small meditation on this. Maybe we will get more clarity. Yeah, Rakiben, your voice is not coming clearly.
Reshmi, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes, Rakiben. Yeah.
Before we move on to meditation, would you do the announcement? I've just posted that on your wall.
Yeah, Rakiben. You can just go ahead, please.
Tomorrow, being a Sunday, we have a special class which Ramesh brother is taking. The topic of this session is spirituality, but we are spelling this as spiritual TEA, which is think, examine, and act. The spiritually think, examine, and act is the topic of tomorrow's session. Request you to be there. Over to you, Reshmi.
Om Shanti. Just feel relaxed. And free your mind for some time. Have a smile on your face. I, the master of the world. I, the master of Brahman, sitting at the world stage. I, the soul, the bestower of blessings, are sending love, peace, good wishes, empathy, cooperation to each and every soul. I'm radiating love to the world. I'm offering help, cooperation, kindness to each and every soul, unconditionally, continuously. Be in that feeling. All the darkness is dispelling from the world. I can see only happy and beautiful faces around me. All the smiling faces. Everyone is at peace. Everyone is in joy. Everyone is offering their love, their treasure to the world. A world of unity. And I, the soul, is filled with the same. I can feel that unconditional love, peace, and bliss within me. All my weaknesses are finished. All the blockages are finished. I am elevated. I am pure. I am as sweet as my Father. I am elevated. I am pure. I am as sweet as my Father. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Rashmi Ben. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a lovely day. Request to Om Bhai to just close the session.
Om Shanti. Anything, sister?
Yeah, you need to close the session because you are the host in this session right now.
Sorry. Yeah,
So-
yeah. Thank you.